Welcome back to whyisrael.org. We're talking today with Chaim Eisen, rabbi from Jerusalem. Chaim is talking with us about the Torah, the Word of God contained in what we as Christians call the Old Testament. And we're exploring the relationship between the Jews and non-Jews and what binds us together. We picked up last time briefly on the laws, the Noahite laws. Chaim, you mentioned about the laws given to Noah. I wonder if you could just explain a little bit more on that, why you regard this covenant with Noah as being so important.
Well, of course, inevitably, God's covenant with man is always of utmost importance. What we see as God's covenant with Noah is the basis for the spiritual vitality of all of humanity. Perhaps just to expand briefly on what we mean by that. All human beings come into the world, of course, as physical beings. We're all born without any actualized sense of spirituality and purpose. But we do have that within ourselves as a potential, latent, that awaits actualization. To the extent that a being remains only physical, it is inevitably subject to the physical laws of decay. To the extent that we actualize ourselves spiritually, we attain a different plane of existence. Spiritual things don't die. Physical things don't disintegrate. Physical things aren't subject to laws of physicality that constrain their existence.
Spiritual things are not.
Right.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And to that extent then, when we make ourselves into spiritual beings, we transcend the bounds of physicality. What God's covenant provides for man is the basis for that spiritual vitality. We see in the Noahide laws the baseline, the foundation for spiritual living. These laws comprise a prohibition on bloodshed, a prohibition on stealing, a prohibition on sexual licentiousness, a prohibition on idolatry, which is tantamount to deifying something that's not divine, a prohibition on blasphemy, which implies cursing God in God's name, and finally, a prohibition on the wanton cruelty to animals expressed in tearing a limb from a living animal and eating it. Those are the 6 prohibitions that constitute the baseline, and the 7th is a positive injunction to establish a legal system that will enforce the other 6. They represent the baseline of morality for all of humanity. They constitute, from the perspective of the Torah, the social and rational imperative that underlies all human morality. And to that extent, they bind together all of humanity. This then is the essential basis from Judaism's perspective of the morality that provides the basis for the redemption of each and every human being.
Okay, so but God did this to Noah and the children of Noah. This is before Abraham came into the picture. How do you explain then the Jewish people and God's calling of the Jews through Abraham? Why did he go that extra step, and what's the role of the Jews then?
As God expressed it in the prelude to the revelation at Sinai, as we mentioned last time, the mandate of Israel is to be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation for the world. Isaiah restates this message, "You shall be called priests of God," and in greater detail describes Israel as a light of the nations. The analogy to the priests within Israel is instructive. What the priests did primarily was they served as teachers. As the prophet Malachi expresses it, the lips of the Kohen vouchsafe wisdom. They seek Torah from his mouth because he is likened to an angel of God. As such, in our serving as the kingdom of priests to the world, we too strive to provide the basis for that teaching, that education of the entire world.
Okay, and so what are you supposed to be teaching to the world? What is the message that the Jewish people should be bringing to the world?
Our message to the world ultimately is the message of both personal and global redemption that derives from connecting with God and His Spirit. Inculcating in world consciousness the appreciation of this baseline of spirituality, and I suppose we could say most fundamentally, the underlying realization that it is through that sense of spirit that we connect with God and connect truly with ourselves. As the prophet Zechariah so aptly expresses it, it is not in might and not in power, but by my spirit, says the God of hosts.
Okay, well, that raises some questions in my mind as well. It almost sounds a little bit humanistic to me, you know, the spirit that's in all of us. Next time I want to come back to that and just talk with you about how you see the Spirit of God and this idea of redemption. Thank you very much.
Thank you.